Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. This is your English class and I am your subject teacher, Ms. Fawzia Naz. We had started with University Days, that was by James Thurber. This was the story in which we have analyzed the passages in the text. We have to recognize the theme of the text, then it also arises the critical thinking. Then we have to identify adjective phrases and clauses in the text. So we talked about the author as well. That was that he was the American cartoonist, he was author, he was playwright, he was journalist, and he was humorist. And the typical feature of his writings are satire. Then as far as the background of the story is concerned, he was shot by an arrow by his elder brother by mistake. So he lost his eyesight and he became blind. And in this essay, he talked about his university days when he was the student. He was unable to pass his botany subject. It was all because that in the laboratory he could not perform well. Teacher, they had been of the view that he could see under the microscope like many other students, but he was unable to see under the microscope. So because of this, he failed into his botany subject. So let's continue with the lesson. So from this paragraph, we have to start with, you were supposed to see vivid, restless clockwork of sharply defined plant cells. So it was the teacher who said that what he had to see under the microscope. He said that that is vivid. Whatever he had to see under the microscope, that is very clear. And what was that? That was the definite plant cells which are placed in a clockwise position. I see what looks like a lot of milk, I would tell him. This, he claimed, was the result of my not having adjusted the microscope properly. So he told the problem to the instructor, to the teacher, that he could not see anything, any pattern over there under the microscope, just a milky, a fluid milky substance. So the teacher said that it may be because he was unable to adjust the microscope properly. So he would readjust it for me, or rather for himself, and I would look again and see milk. I finally took it and waited a year and tried again. So you had to pass one of the biological sciences or you could not graduate. So he was unable to see under the microscope, he could not see anything, any plant cells, so he could not pass, and he had to wait for another year, because in order to get his graduation degree, what he had to do, he had to pass his one of the biological sciences subject. The professor had come back from vacation brown as a berry, bright-eyed and eager to explain cell structure again to his classes. So when after the result there were the vacation, when he went on the vacation, he came back. So this is over here, you can see he was brown. So this word brown, it is further explained as a berry, bright-eyed. So as we talked earlier in the beginning, that what you people have to learn, you have to learn the adjectives in this lesson, and you have to learn that what are the adjective phrases and clauses. So what you people have to do, you have to identify this phrase as a very bright-eyed and eager to explain cell structure again to his classes. Eager means that he was keen to, he wanted to explain the cell structure to his classes. Well, he said to me cheerily, when we met in the first laboratory hour that semester, we are going to see cells this time, aren't we? Yes, sir. So in a very ironical way, the teacher talked to him, and but apparently in a very pleasant mood, he said that as he was failing a semester and in this semester he wanted to pass, so in the laboratory he would be able to see the cells again. Yes, sir, I said. Students to the right of me and left of me and in front of me were seeing cells. And what's more, they were drawing pictures of them in their notebooks. Of course, I didn't see anything. So again, in a very humorous way, he just narrated his situation, that he was unable to see any cell, while all the other students, they could see the cells, as well as they could have been drawing the cells. We will try it, the professor said to me grimly. With every adjustment of the microscope known to man, as God is my witness, I will arrange this glass so that you see cells through it on, or I will give up teaching. In 22 years of botany, he curled off abruptly, for he was beginning to quiver all over, like Lionel Barrymore, and he genuinely wished to hold on to his temper. His scenes with me had taken a great deal out of him. So again, he was unable to see, and this made his professor very angry. He said to him grimly means that in a very serious mood, he said that, okay, as he had spent 22 years in this profession, and he had not seen such kind of a student who could not see under the microscope, so he tried to adjust the microscope, the lens for him, and he was very much annoyed, and in anger he had been quivering. And again, the phrase has been used that he had been quivering like a Lionel Barrymore, and he lost his temperament. So we tried it with every adjustment of the microscope known to man. With only one of them did I see anything but blackness or the familiar lactical opacity. And that time I saw to my pleasure and amusement, a variegated constellation of flecks, specks, and dots. These I hastily drew, the instructor noting my activity, and came from an adjoining desk, a smile on his lips, eyebrows high in hope. So, as the teacher, he lost his temperament, he was very angry. So, what he had done, he as a student had tried to adjust the microscope for himself again, and he tried to see what the teacher wanted him to see. So, what he had seen over there, just milky substance that is not very clear, that is not very vivid. So what I had seen, I tried to draw it on my on his notebook. Variegated constellation means different colors of the kind of a stars, kind of a spots, or kind of a flecks, kind of a marks and dots. So he hurriedly drew everything that he could see under the microscope, and the teacher, he had become very hopeful that at least because of his attitude, he had learned something, he had seen something. He looked at my cell drawing. "What is this?" he demanded, with a hint of squeal in his voice. "That's what I saw," I said. "You didn't, you didn't, you didn't," he screamed, losing control on his temper instantly, and he bent over and squinted into the microscope. His head snapped up. "That's your eye," he shouted. "You have fixed the lens so that it reflects. You have drawn your own eye." So there was a squeal in his voice, means he had been shouting. It seems that he was just shouting at him, and he screamed. He lost the control, and he abruptly said that what he had drawn. So he bent over and squinted into the microscope, and his head snapped up. That is all very humorous, the use of the word, the expression that he had used when you people do something wrong in the laboratory, when the teacher is angry and teacher is trying to tell you that what you people have to see, and you people continuously not following the instructions, or not understanding what the teacher wants you people to understand the thing. So when the concept goes wrong, that annoys the teacher. So the teacher condition has been exhibited over there. It has been narrated over here that he lost his temperament, and he had gone mad, at least when he saw what he had drawn. He said that he in a wrong way adjusted the lens, and that is the reflection of his eye that he had drawn on the page. So that is all, students. So how you can explain, or what is the theme of this lesson, this story? The story is written in a very humorous way. It has a narrative style. It is written in first person, and that is from his own life history, from the writer's life. So with all these things, you people have to find out the adjective phrases and adjective clauses in this lesson, right? Thank you very much for today. Tomorrow we will start with this exercise.